Learn English daily.
Hi, David. Welcome to our fourth English learning session. Today, we're going to dive into the present tense.
Hi, Sarah. I'm excited to learn about the present tense. Let's get started.
Great! The present tense is used to talk about actions or situations that are happening now or are generally true. Let's start with the simple present tense.
Simple present tense. Got it. How do we form sentences in the simple present?
In the simple present tense, we use the base form of the verb for most subjects. For example, I eat breakfast every morning.
So, for most subjects, we use the base form of the verb. What about the third-person singular subjects?
Good question. For third-person singular subjects, he, she, it, we add an s or es to the base form of the verb. For example, he eats breakfast every morning.
I see. So it's eats instead of eat for third-person singular subjects. What about negative sentences?
In negative sentences, we use the auxiliary verb to not, don't, or does not, doesn't before the base form of the verb. For example, I don't eat meat.
Don't for most subjects and doesn't for third-person singular subjects in negative sentences. And how about questions?
In questions, we use the auxiliary verb do or does before the subject, followed by the base form of the verb. For example, do you eat breakfast?
Do for most subjects and does for third-person singular subjects in questions. I'm starting to understand the structure.
That's great, David. Now let's practice some example sentences using the simple present tense. Repeat after me. I work in an office. She plays the guitar. We speak English fluently. They live in a big house.
I work in an office. She plays the guitar. We speak English fluently. They live in a big house.
Excellent job, David. You're getting the hang of it. Now let's move on to another form of the present tense, the present continuous.
Present continuous. I'm ready. How is it different from the simple present tense?
The present continuous is used to talk about actions happening right now or around the current time. It's formed using the present tense of the verb to be, ham, is, are, plus the present participle, the base form plus ing. For example, I am studying English.
Am, is, or are with the base form plus ing. I think I understand. Can we practice some example sentences?
Of course. Repeat after me. She is reading a book. They are playing soccer. I am cooking dinner. We are watching a movie.
She is reading a book. They are playing soccer. I am cooking dinner. We are watching a movie.
Excellent pronunciation, David. You're doing a great job with the present continuous tense.
Thank you, Sarah. I'm starting to feel more comfortable with these tenses.
That's wonderful to hear. Keep practicing and using these tenses in your everyday conversations.
I will, Sarah. Thank you for teaching me the present tense today.
You're welcome, David. I'm glad I could help. Now let's move on to the last form of the present tense, the present perfect.
Present perfect. Okay, I'm ready to learn about it. How is it different from the other two tenses?
Present perfect is used to talk about past actions or experiences that have a connection to the present. It's formed using the present tense of the auxiliary verb have, has, plus the past participle of the main verb. For example, I had visited Paris.
So, it's have or has with the past participle. I think I understand. Can we practice some example sentences?
Absolutely. Repeat after me. They have studied English for 5 years. She has lived in this city since 2010. We have seen that movie before. He has already finished his work.
They have studied English for 5 years. She has lived in this city since 2010. We have seen that movie before. He has already finished his work.
Perfect, David. You're doing an excellent job with the present perfect tense.
Thank you, Sarah. I'm starting to grasp the different uses of these tenses.
That's great to hear. Remember, the key to mastering them is practice and exposure to real life examples.